All right, welcome into the channel. Thanks for being here. We've got a co-caster. You want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm UrbaneOlive. I am co-casting for TnT Championship today. We're going to be watching Chungus versus Centurion in brackets. Which bracket is this? See? I forget. But, you know, I'm actually excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, this is bracket C, Centurion versus
Yes, that's
Big
what I thought.
Chungus. Match 1. By the way, absolutely, I did not plan that sound to play when you introduced yourself, but that is so. That was so
Yes!
perfect.
UrbaneOlive in the building!
All right, I am ready to get started with these games.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. We're in.
Good. All right, game one.
Call them out.
All right, top right, the northeast side, we're looking at Big Chungus in the red with Hopper. And bottom left, my favorite commander, Zazan ZZ43 or Centurion
Yes.
with the KSR.
Excellent. So we'll refer to him as Centurion here, but yes, Sans. Okay.
It's like another Senzes.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's any of them, yeah.
Yeah. So let's take a look at these decks real quick. Big Chungus going with
Wow.
some Squirrel Toad. This is kind of
Interesting deck. That's a tough deck to play.
This is almost a Heartseed style with the Ferret Balloon Falcon kind of stuff, and we'll see if he pulls it out. I'll talk to you about that style if that happens. And then Centurion over here with the Pure Lizard, super spicy and kind of hard to figure out at first, but
Yeah.
it's definitely not bad.
I'm a big fan of Lizard play.
Pure Lizard is
last
good.
batch, especially. Okay. But yeah, I think once Chungus sees the lizards out of Centurion, I think toads are going to be a really large problem.
Yes, and Squirrel Toad is 100% a very, very hard counter to Pure Lizard. So
absolutely.
The
So I
minute
think
the
skunks
toads
need to come down.
Exactly. The minute the toads come out, either skunks or cams are going to be the necessary piece against the toads. And even then, you have to micro your heart out. So we'll see how this goes. Both sides have turrets, so they can, survive or greed up a little harder if they want. Let's see how they go.
This is, in terms of map balance, I don't. It's not horribly unbalanced to either side. There's quite a few mills here, but if you look at this sort of northwestern mill, it's actually blocked off from Chungus, although it's very close to his base. It's not really attainable, and because I wish Centurion had ferrets here, because what a ferret map location.
I could definitely see Big Chungus taking that base and ferreting up. And I will say, out of both bases, I prefer green side of the map, though, as far as second bases go. There are some toads here, and the lizards are coming in, gonna try to get some damage done. But the toad connections are so good, and there's so many squirrels left over.
Gonna have to run, yeah.
Yeah. Now, Centurion does have skunks on the way as well, but unfortunately did throw away a couple lizards there in the beginning, so...
Yeah, I think he should have waited for one or two.
Oh, no, and he sells the skunks! I guess he's trying to get a turret up, but I think Chungus has got it.
Need to.
And by the way, if you put more than one turret out, usually a good idea. Toads actually are pretty good against clumped turrets as well, so...
Yeah, you want to space that out for sure.
Yeah, if I was Big Chungus here, I'd go for more than just 3 toads. Let's, level it up, get...
I think 9 toads could be dangerous in this game.
At least 6, yeah. And 9 would be amazing. He's going into ferrets, though, which is another way of countering the turret. Centurion grabbing an expansion.
Really honestly.
I like the expansion here, actually. If you're not getting killed, let's, get up something. Yeah. And the skunks are coming up again. At the end of the day, having the skunk horn in the back is probably a better choice as well.
It was probably a better location, but still, I think it was fine. I guess it never ended up pushing in, so it didn't really matter at the end of the day.
All right, Big Chungus looks like he's just trying to expand onto the low ground here.
Yes, that's probably the better base of the two, because even though there's this one to the right, there's kind of a long running distance, and there's water between the bases, and it's also very accessible from Centurion's side of the map.
Well, I do want to say there is another giant factor here, and if you're playing ferrets, you're usually a lot safer to expand forward because you're going to be trying to be in your opponent's face anyway, so it makes sense with the style of play he's going for to expand forward.
Look at this little high ground next to the water here. If you can put one, you can put a turret and 2 up right on the front there, and yes, you can hit a space from here. Yeah.
Uh-oh, that second skunk horn is going down.
Dirty.
And the
Oh,
toad
what a
connections
spot.
are amazing. So
Amazing, yeah.
yeah, if you're
Oh,
playing,
the skunk is hit by ferrets. Oh no, he loses a skunk to two ferret shells there. Loses another skunk to ferret shells. That's just, I think the micro could be a little better here.
yep. So he
But
loses
he's
the
gonna get
warren. He
pushed
does
back.
hold the push and is going to be able to kill at least one of those ferrets.
Yeah, he does get one.
But losing
I
that
think,
warren
yeah,
is a lot of value. So
yeah.
Chungus is
He
doing
lost
alright.
100 or 220, something like that. 220 food, 240 food, just to ferret shelling.
Yeah. Now
I think Chungus should get an MG on the Tigon here.
I like a lot of the way that Centurion is playing this. The one thing that is missing for me is he's got to let the toads connect on his skunks, not his lizards. You want to dodge the ferret shells, but more importantly, you can't let the toads kill all your lizards or you're dead. If the toads kill the skunks...
As the main DPS of the army.
Yeah.
Okay, some nice pre-gas coming down here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, skunks are something you got to respect here as Chungus for sure, especially in these chokes.
Yeah.
Chokes are very good for skunks, and unfortunately, he's actually setting up turrets, which kind of just makes it better for the skunks as far as chokes go.
Right, because the... Oh, no, he's going to lose.
Ooh,
Oh,
barely pulls it out of the way.
Going to lose a pig here to ferret shelling.
He does have a couple extra pigs on his expansion, though, which is very good.
Yes, he is up on farms here. Well, yes, he's up only one, but...
There's definitely some counterplay, but let me check the vision here of Big Chungus. With that balloon up, he can see everything.
Everything, yeah.
Very good gas.
Yeah, this is a fantastic choke for Centurion. The question is it enough? I think he can stop any pushes, but I think farming up here is not a horrible idea.
Interesting decisions from Chungus here, just sticking with the 3 toads, which are going to get good value no matter what, and then going into Mass Squirrel. Against the skunks, I think like more toads would be. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he sells 1 squirrel here and goes to 6 or 9 toads.
Yeah.
I said 9 toads back when he had 9 squirrels. I think definitely 9 toads at this point.
Yeah. Now, while the game's not over yet, I think Big Chungus has a much more straightforward win condition.
He's cut off this entire map. If it were to go any longer, he has taken basically this very commanding middle position.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a killer comp, especially hard to attack into with the toads, and he's able to poke with the ferrets, and he's got these balloons and turrets up, which locks Centurion into his side of the map. So while Centurion isn't dead, Chungus he's got the way out.
Oh, did he lose? He lost. Oh my god, these ferrets. These shells should not be getting as much value as they are. Just on units, I mean, not even on buildings.
Yeah, unfortunately.
2 ferret shells hitting.
Unfortunately, losing those cams were the piece that he needed to really fight against the Squirrel Toad. Skunk Cam Lizard can handle Squirrel Toad, I think, but he did just kind of give them away into the turrets, unfortunately.
Ferret gets away in 1 health there.
He needed to attack with everything into those turrets if he wanted to kill them, not just the cams.
Yeah. I think Zahn is losing a lot of value every single attack here.
Yeah.
Just money. Just being thrown away every single time.
Chungus is being very patient and just getting value. That's good. Ferrets are good at that.
Zahn going for a wraparound here with not only just the lizards, but his actually entire army.
Yeah, that's all right. He doesn't have enough lizards to fully do a base trade, unfortunately. If he kills both bases.
He's attacking Warrens back here. I think maybe Chungus can just go for the base trade here and win.
Yep. If there were more lizards for Centurion, the base trade might go in his favor because lizards.
Might be threatening, yeah.
I think Chungus has got this.
Yeah. Maybe if he can buy it. No, that's gonna be it. Game 1.
Yeah. GG.
Yes. GG. Yep. I think Chungus played that very, very well, actually.
Yeah.
I love the.
There was a lot of strong play on both sides, but Big Chungus playing like an absolute beast. As soon as he got that central position up, he absolutely knew his way out of that situation.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he just kept him there. He was very patient. He didn't push when he didn't have to. He kept getting ahead over and over again. I was like little pickups here and there, and then he just kind of bled him out. At some point, he had not enough money to keep sustaining losses. So
good point from Wildkin in the chat. If Centurion was going for the base trade, which I think was about the only way he could have won from there, so the decision making was spot on. You just got to buy a base like as you move out because it takes a while for the base to finish. And
he did walk by a base.
Yeah, he did. So buy a mill and then target the mills of your opponent, and he might have actually been able to win the base trade and force Chungus to turn around or or maybe lose. But good ideas though out of Centurion. A lot of good thoughts. Just a couple of weak spots there, and toads are scary.
Yeah. All right.
Ready for game 2?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. We're in.
Go. All right. Game 2. Chungus is up 1-0.
Yeah, and Centurion sticking with the mass lizard or pure lizard here. I think that's a bit risky. If you know,
a change would be nice.
Yeah, if you know your opponent's a toad player, drop lizards like they're just drop them, or at least get into Squizzard, get some squirrels as well. But the pure lizard is just so hard countered by Squirrel Toad that it's risky.
It's gonna be tough. Yeah, I think Squizzard, as you're saying, I think Squizzard is a really good idea here, just so he can play these lizards that he obviously enjoys. But if he realizes that these toads are gonna kill him over and over again, kind of phase it out, get into a little of each, mostly lizards or squirrels though.
Yeah, and against Squirrel Toad, the Squizzard actually has some counter micro potential because you can let your squirrels fight the other person's squirrels, and then as the toads are chasing your lizards, you just kind of run away.
Yeah.
And then at that point, whoever has the more squirrels wins. It's kind of a weird micro situation, but I just want to give a quick shout out. There's one player in particular in the community who plays mass pure lizard at a very high level, and that's Sasha. So if you want to see pure lizard made to work in this patch, check out some of Sasha's games or ask her. You know, it's tough, especially against toads, but that's the person to go to. So anyway, back to this. We've got a normal 8 farm opening, no rushes out of these players into a couple of warrens.
Standard opening here, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Centurion or Chungus should run over here and see, oh look, I'm seeing double lizard coming out here, and then go home and buy a toad.
Yep. And no rush. If you ever want to push out, you need the toads. There it goes. Toad warren goes down. Now I do want to say that one of the best ways of playing pure lizard is getting something like a cam out immediately to support. If you micro so that the toads hit your cams, then the cam lizard player has an option out.
Right, because for anyone who doesn't know or is just learning, lizards in a straight up fight versus even numbers of squirrels will win.
Yes. Yep. If there's nothing else involved,
health,
if there's nothing else involved, the lizards will beat squirrels of even numbers. And the cams there, I like the double cam. It's a little bit risky, but it looks like Chungus isn't actually ready to punish at the moment, so it's going to work out. And the cams, by themselves, the Squirrel Toad will wreck them, but if the cams tank the toads, and then the lizards can kill the squirrels, like you said, then Centurion's in a decent spot.
Yeah.
Chungus here taking his lead. Unfortunately, Centurion threw a couple of lizards at him at first, so Chungus is going to expand, get some eco up, throw down a turret just to be extra safe. I don't even think he needs it, but he's throwing it down to be safe. Gonna scout up.
It's okay. I think he's just out now by another farm with it.
Yep, especially now that he's seen Centurion also farming up. We might see a little bit more of a macro game here, which is awesome.
And I think in the macro game, I favor Centurion actually with the Wolf Falcon cam.
Yeah, so Chungus would have to set up some kind of ferret poke position again. And right. Ferret Falcon is actually pretty good since ferrets are fairly tanky. In fact, they're pretty tanky, and they have a decent DPS. So ferrets aren't actually that bad in a fight these days. And Falcons give them extra vision for shooting uphill and just shooting further range, and the ferrets can tank for the Falcons. So Chungus has a decent composition, but I got to agree. Wolfcam Falcon for Centurion, it is such a powerful late game comp. So if he gets into it, he's got this. He just needs to transition into the Cam Falcon, maybe Wolf, and then go, cut down on his lizard numbers a little bit so that he can minimize the losses.
Yeah. Buying some doves here, some pigeons from Centurion here. Pigeons are okay. Especially with some high damage or high health things like the chameleons here, but when you have such a high number of falcons and a high number of squirrels, those cams are probably going to get melted very quickly, and I'm not sure the pigeons are going to get a ton of value in some of these fights unless they get prolonged for a while.
Mm-hmm. So the situations where pigeons are really good is giant late game balls. Pigeons are very helpful in. But in the mid games, you want to think, okay, do I have things that have a lot of health, like cams? Pigeon Cam and Pigeon Falcon are good, But the other thing you got to think of is pigeons are weak against high DPS. Anything of your opponents that has a lot of DPS, pigeons are going to be weak against. So we're talking Mass Falcon, pigeons aren't that great against. Toads, pigeons aren't that great against. Pure Squirrel, eh. So Chungus has actually got a pretty decent anti-pigeon comp here. Now, having said that, if the third thing you can use with pigeons is if you're already ahead in army, adding pigeons isn't going to hurt. So we'll have to see. We're going to have a wolf soon, and we've got Falcon Cam, which is very good. We'll have to see.
Come in here.
Yeah,
I like this.
If Chungus can get some damage with his ferrets, I think he's going to be just fine.
Gonna get a pig there.
Ooh, a couple of toads were picked off, and so the toad connections weren't actually that great.
So now the lizards are more value.
Yeah, so the Cam Falcon from Centurion is doing really good.
Oh, those falcons melt. Wow.
Chungus had more falcons, and he was actually fighting within range of the balloons. So
yeah, they helped a little bit too.
All other things being equal, if you've got a falcon versus falcon fight, whoever has more falcons wins.
Sure enough.
So Chungus takes a pretty big lead off of that.
Yeah, and also up on farms for a decent while here.
Well, and I like the way he's playing. You don't have to go kill your opponent, right? He's got a very, very, maybe even the much better side of the map. So if he just keeps pushing his... Yeah, exactly. If he just pushes his defenses forward, there's nothing that Centurion is going to be able to do at this point. He's got a wolf, which is helpful. We've seen some wolf magic happen.
Yeah, wolf falcon is scary, but he has just more falcons. Chungus, that is.
But so attacking into Mass Squirrel Falcon and the defenses. Oh, and this choke. I think Chungus is going to win this fight and push.
I think Chungus is going to win this fight. Yes. Unless the wolf has the balloons. Oh, the wolf has the balloons or falcons maybe. One of the two. Gonna push in. Just more falcons. 3 falcons still alive.
So not the worst fight for Centurion there. I think he kind of fell apart in the choke there, but Chungus just had more stuff at that point.
Right, he had more money in the fight, so.
And ferrets are so tilting to play against, man. If the ferret player gets ahead, it's like any comeback mechanic that you might have is just taken away by ferrets. So that's one reason to play.
He's gonna lose his wolf form, which he should try to sell, although it's over. He has no reason to starve out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So GG's, and it looks like Big Chungus is gonna go up to the winners match, 2-0. And Centurion not out yet. He goes into the losers match. So again, I like a lot of the stuff I'm seeing out of him. We'll just see if he can polish up his gameplay just a little bit and survive.
Yeah. Well, GG's on both parties. That was a good matchup.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.